I really just wanted to say a few words about the perspective of being a physician attorney and working in a plaintiff's firm. Just to give everybody a frame of reference, I graduated class of 1984 from Jefferson. I did an internship in general surgery. I did a residency in family practice. I practiced primarily emergency medicine with a little bit of family practice mixed in places that range from Spanish Harlem to Westchester County, New York, to Delaware County. I did a stint as a clinical professor at one of the major medical centers here in town. I've been around the block, and it's been an interesting career. And if several years back, I decided to go to law school, and I was blessed with the opportunity to work at what I have to say is, it's a great place to work. Being an attorney and a physician gives me a different perspective on how to approach cases and how to look at different things. I work with the best and brightest people in the world, and honestly, it's a great place to work. But things are different when they're on a piece of paper, when they're on a record and they're looking at it, and it doesn't give you the kind of flow, the energy that you understand when you've been in a situation. Certainly many of us have had interactions with the healthcare system. But being in the moment, being there and understanding what it's like when you get a trauma code coming in, or you get a cardiac arrest coming in, or if it's something relatively simple when you have a screaming kid with what seems like a cold, or is it something more serious? The flow of that, the energy, and information doesn't flow linearly in medical care and healthcare. It's a web, and information gets passed back and forth, and people are interacting, and somebody's telling you one thing while somebody's telling you something else, and you've got 5 patients that are waiting, and all of these things go on. And I bring to the table that kind of perspective. I look at a case in the context of this kind of environment, this milieu of tremendous information flow. And I have the fortune of being able to share that knowledge and share my experiences with my colleagues and with all the people that I work with when I'm pursuing these cases, when I'm investigating these cases. It provides a somewhat different look. Look, we all do medical malpractice cases, and those of us who do these kinds of cases understand when we look at a case, we hear something, we know something is off. We know that this shouldn't happen, or that maybe there's something wrong here. But digging out the details sometimes requires knowing a little bit more, having a little bit more experience. And I'm fortunate in being able to be a part of that. A lot of my colleagues, former friends sometimes, will say to me, well, why did you go over to the other side? Why do you not defend doctors? Why do you work for the plaintiff's attorneys? Honestly, it's because I believe in what I do. People say, well, you should be working for the doctors. And I say to them, you know what? I am. In some small way, I am. I'm making the process better. I'm addressing the things that need to be addressed in medicine. Bad things happen. Nobody's saying that bad things don't happen. I'm helping you and pointing those things out. And many times, all I do is I listen to the clients that come to our office and say to us, hey, something terrible happened to me, and I look over the records, and I listen to their story, and I spend the time with them that they didn't have, their own doctor didn't have the time to spend with them for all sorts of different reasons. And I tell them, look, your doctor did okay. The process worked. It's unfortunate. These things did happen. We're not able to take this case because these things aren't negligent, aren't a breach of the standard of care. But sometimes we get the opportunity to help, to change a process. I recently worked with Mark on a case where we were able to settle a case at a hospital in one of the suburbs, and they were able to admit not only that they did something wrong and that we settled this case for the benefit of the plaintiff's estate, but that they were able to change their policy and procedure so that ideally this won't happen again. That the case where a patient died because of administration of a narcotic in the face of obstructive sleep apnea, and the patient went unmonitored and died essentially of suffocation because he was unable to breathe as a result of getting a narcotic pain medication, we were able to get them to change their policy, to change their procedure, to make sure that future patients are monitored, and hopefully this won't happen. And that's a bigger win in my view than anything else I could do.